Most people think they chose the job because they're passionate about the work. Most people think they bought the car because they truly liked it and needed reliable transportation. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg. Status was always there, lurking in the background. I'm making a case that status does not just motivate, it's the mother of motivations. It sits above everything else, quietly pulling the strings. And if you're aware of status and how it influences our behaviors, you will be able to better explain how other people behave and ultimately how you behave. The truth is, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Today, I'm going to share observations that I've been sitting on for quite some time. Let's get right into it. Here's the thing: when most people think of the word status, they think about fame, money, Instagram followers. That's the very surface level of status. Status in its most dressed up, obvious form. Now, the actual definition of status is rather simple. Status is your perceived rank within a social group. This really isn't a modern invention. What this is something that is put into us a long time ago. Just think about it. Early humans lived in very tight social groups, very small tribes. Your position in that group determined everything: how much food you got, who you can potentially partner with, and who protected you when things went wrong. Now, if you had higher status, it meant you were able to command and control more resources. If you have lower status, then to put plainly, you are, by definition, more disposable. So the brain learned to track status obsessively, to keep us alive, to strive for higher ranking, not really as a choice, but as a reflex. This is what I call a gift and a curse from thousands of years, millions of years of evolution. Now, here's where it gets a little bit more uncomfortable. If status is deeply wired within us, then it also means that it's showing up in places we don't normally look. Take a career as an example. Oftentimes, people say that they want a fulfilling job, but what they're actually describing is a job that gets them status in a group they care about or want to be in. For example, consultants who choose big four companies didn't do it just to provide clients strategic consultation, but also because their title and association with the company grants them prestige. It carries a lot of social weight. The artist who stays underground doing work they love, they stay underground because commercial success is oftentimes frowned upon in the circles, the creative circles they operate in. So staying underground in that community is considered a high status move. Neither of these people think they're chasing status, but they are. For instance, think about the last time someone asked about what you did for a living. How much of your answer was purely factual and how much of that was calculated? Did you frame it in a certain way? Did you leave something out? Did you mention anything extra? Now, that's what we call status management. We do it without thinking, and it serves the purpose of inflating or upping our perceived status. Or take how we consume as an example. Psychologists have spent decades documenting how people use purchases to signal social position. We don't necessarily buy expensive things because they work better. Most of the time, they don't. We buy them because of what they say about us to other people. So it's quite safe to say that status is not something we opt into. It's something we're already doing. We're just doing it quite unconsciously. Now, here's the part I want to expand on. Status isn't exactly a new idea. I'm saying that status is upstream of a lot of what we call motivations. Take belonging as an example. We treat belonging as its own separate need to feel connected and part of something, to feel good. But status and belonging are deeply tangled. They go hand in hand. You don't want to be just a part of the group. You want to matter within the group. You want your presence to mean something. That's status. Take achievement as another example. We treat it like it's purely internal when we do experience it. When we set a goal, we hit it, and it feels good. But oftentimes, when we do achieve something really significant, we share it with other people. We tell other people. You know how it feels. It feels different when you've done something and there's a witness. The external validation, the external recognition is a part of that reward. And that's also status. Even purpose, that one thing we're all supposed to be doing, chasing, is still status in disguise. Why does having a clear purpose feel meaningful? Because it positions you as someone who leads, who contributes, who matters. Now, I want to be real with you here. Striving for status is not a bad thing. It's inherently not a bad thing. It's normal. What I accounted before are just my observations, right? The question isn't whether status is running in your operating system right now. It 100% is. The real question is, what are the status games you are playing? And do these status games fit you? And are these the status games you want to play in? A lot of times, people who feel the most lost, the most directionless, are playing status games they themselves didn't consciously choose. Games handed to them by their parents, their schooling system, and society at large. The most painful part about that is they never stopped to ask whether this game is suitable for them and whether they even want to win at this game they're currently playing. But here's what I observed, right? People who seem genuinely content, not just successful, but at peace with themselves, oftentimes they've made a quite deliberate choice about which arena they want to compete in. They know what they're optimizing for. That's a very different experience from climbing up a ladder built by someone else, going in a completely different direction that you do not want to be in. So if you take away one thing from this video, status is not your enemy. It's there, it's not ego, it's biology. But biology without awareness is just impulse. The work is for us to figure out, what hierarchy am I inside right now? And is this where I want to be fighting? That's everything from me today. I'll see you in the next one.